trust in me, and you will find. And time goes by so naturally while you receive infinity.
Okay, Leo, we're in for your spirituality reading for the month of March and into April here. We're going to get into the cards. We got the Gaia deck. So the first in the row of 3 here that we have for you is the Queen of Earth, 13. Okay, this is not your element. So we may be feeling quite grounded at this time, or focusing on someone who's very grounded. You could be focusing on a feminine energy, or you can be radiating this energy. And this energy consists of someone who likes refined things and surrounds themselves with refined things. Why? Because they're worthy of it. They like luscious things around them, and they have a lot of opportunities to gain this in their life. It naturally flows to them. The Queen of Earth is also a solid figure in the way of self-worth, and she also goes outward to treat others in this manner as well. So the Queen of Earth is a very good, nurturing kind of person to be or to have in your field. So there's that. Okay, the next card that we have here for you, Leo, is 8 of 5, 6, 7 of fire. Okay. This card, this is in our present energy here. This card usually denotes some kind of lower frequency things. Now, this woman is over a bowl of darkness, if you get my drift. So there may be someone either evil-eyeing you, or you're evil-eyeing someone else outside of you. It's very unlike the Queen of Earth to do something like that if that's the element you're in. Now, the fire element, somebody may have fired us up here in not so positive a way, meaning someone may have gotten under our skin here to a degree that we're going outward in bitterness and resentment and whatnot. I'm getting this. That snake is highly there. Yeah. And our intuition's going off. So it may be a subtle energy of someone, maybe not confronting us to our face, but we're just, somebody's irking us, and there's reasons for it instinctively, but we're not quite getting the proof on the physical. Oh boy, here we go. Okay, next card is like a drama scenario is what I got here. So on the next card here, as we move into the future energies, we have the 10 of Earth. Yeah. And that's, again, that's stable, solid energy. I feel like in the moment, there may be someone in our field here that's pulling us off our center. And they may be doing it deliberately by the feel from the Leo's vantage point here. But we're going to get into the second row and figure it out here. Chakra cards. On the Queen of Earth, again, there's a balanced center we come from. In the present, something's throwing us off. And then in the future, we get back into our proper stance here. But it is, in the present moment, it's highly in our view. Something is irking us, and it's kind of underground stuff. But nonetheless, it may be a person, a scenario, something's going on here that's not, it's just promoting us to give evil eyes, like, back off. Something's not going right here. So on the Queen of Earth, again, that's that stable, grounded energy. It is a past energy. We may have been solid. On top of that, the chakra card we get is the Princess of Swords. And that is someone who's going out in curiosity to figure things out. We may have come across, we may be seeking something and come across something else that kind of struck us the wrong way, is the sense that I'm getting. May have done some investigating through people, through scenarios, whatnot, and come across something that we don't like, is really what I'm getting here. So as we get into the present energies here, right? The 7 of fire. What do we get on top of there for the chakras? 7 of Wands. 2 sevens. That's about defensive behavior. Again, yeah, I'm getting that kind of like back off. Exactly, right? I'm standing my ground here. So it might come down to, if it's something that's underground, it might actually come into the physical plane and go, yeah, be confrontational is a sense. We may have to stand our ground against something or someone at the present here. Yeah, if it's not come to accumulation, I feel like it's going to in the near future. So as we move into the future card here, I do get a sense, though, we will be back on top and our regular back to normal here. But we have something in the present here that we have to deal with. So on top of the 10 of Earth, we get the Queen of Wands. That is your element. That is you. Now, yeah. Taking a stand is what they said. We took a stand. We had to put someone in their place, is the sense, or at least make them aware of our boundaries, is what I got here quite highly. And it's like we had a little bit of time here to kind of look at them and go, you're not going to do that, are you? Like, that's going to be crossing my boundary. Like, you can't do that kind of thing. This is what I'm getting. Quite highly. So the Queen of Wands, she's very confident, very self-assured. She goes forward and she makes decisions. She's very much an action taker, a mover and a shaker. This is what I feel like the Leo's getting into. I feel like they might be a little bit muted at this time in the present when they're realizing all this stuff. They're seeing it coming. And they're waiting, and it's like, I'm going to have my moment, and I'm going to create my boundary. Boom, there it is. And the Queen of Wands does not back down from that. She will not back down from that. So having her in your future energy really tells me that not only did we succeed in getting our point across, but they will not be coming down this line this close ever again. And again, in Leo form, right? The big roar, back off, blowing their hair back. Now this person is retreated. So it may have been a barrier that we had to put up against something or someone that they just never knew we had a barrier for. Okay. And now they're set straight and we can continue forward in our, graceful lion energy. So messing with the wrong person, right? You don't mess with a Leo because you're going to get, the teeth. And the roar, because they're showing me the hair, like the roar, and then there's a person in front of them and it's like blowing their hair back. So it's like somebody got a blast here. Having to do with boundaries and whatnot. So sometimes that needs to be set. What can you say? Okay, so as we go into the Shaman's card on top of the Princess of Swords, again, there was a curiosity that brought us to this discovery of stuff that wasn't so great and wonderful. But nonetheless, on top of that energy, 25, Garden of Venus, Rest and Renewal. That's a pretty little card, isn't it? It's a pretty little card. I get a feeling of grace and wonderfulness. And look at the colors kind of vibing with the Queen of Earth, right? It's all that majestic self, right? Yeah, I feel like we're in our abundance quite highly. And this scenario may have thrown us off our peace and grace is what I'm getting. And they're like, well, we just, go off our pedestal, give them a butt whooping, and then get back on. This is what I'm getting. It's like somebody was out of line. And I mean, for the Leo, depending on the day and your pole as well. And I feel like this one I'm picking up on is very much in the positive pole, the right way of doing things. And somebody just come at them wrong and they had to set them straight. And I feel like it's so much so that it is out of their ordinary frame. Like this energy, I get a feminine energy. And I also get an energy that, I don't get worked up very often. Like I can put up with a lot of crap, but I will not put up with this. This is what I'm getting. So I feel like before this all come down, start shaking the earth underneath Leo's feet, I feel like they were in a good, graceful place of, being rested and having renewed energy and whatnot. So this threw them. Okay, so as we get into the current space here with the 7 of Wands, again, that barrier that we had to create against someone or something. The shaman card we get is deep, quiet meditation and stillness. Ooh. You know what? They're giving me the energy that this really threw us. Like, this really threw us for a loop here. Again, going off our center where we normally don't get thrown. So there may be a need to kind of tap into our quiet more often is what I'm getting. It doesn't have to be exactly in the form of meditation, but a lot of people don't realize they're meditating a lot during the day anyway. Is kind of letting life catch up to them, really. It's sitting in peace and quiet. That is really what meditation is, and letting things flow as they will. I feel like we may have to do this more often, or we may have had to take a moment after this all went down to kind of get our baseline back. Okay. And also I am getting a warning sign that, yeah, maybe we need to do this more in the future. Yeah. There's something here that's kind of off. Now, again, it might be, might be our arch enemy or arch enemy, whatever they call it, that kind of come down and confronted us. I don't know if it's that drastic a situation, but it's definitely something that we just will not tolerate. But there's quiet, and I guess for some people, this quiet and stillness is hard to come by because of this eruption. And for some, they're going to tap into it to get them to calm down from it. Okay, trying to decipher that energy, and there it is. So as we move into the future, the 10 of Earth, again, getting back on our pedestal, right? And continuing forward in Queen of Wands energy, which is very self-confident, very self-assured, and nobody going to cross my lines here because I will make damn sure that you step back on my demand, kind of thing. So, very quickly recovering from this is the sense that I get. On top of that energy, we get closing door. Whoa, completion. Yeah. Ooh, okay, so this may have been a heavier confrontation than we give credit for. It may have been someone we've been struggling with for a while, and we just had enough. And it is something that was supposed to come to a completion here. It's a breaking point that we needed to take the high road here. I don't know if we got into high or low road here. I think we went up and down a little bit, but the sense they're giving me is that in the bigger scheme of things, this is an energy that needed to leave. This is an energy we needed to get rid of. It was over crossing our boundaries. It's too far gone, and we've had enough. There has to be a consequence here. We were taken advantage of in this situation to some degree, and it's just unthinkable. We can't go down this road no more. It's the sense. So the closing of the door, I feel like there's a great grand check mark there. Universally, it's like, yes, we can close the door on this, and we have no guilt. Carry no guilt for this because we really put up with this for much too long, is the sense that I'm getting. And again, anybody else in our shoes really wouldn't have gone this far with things before they let things go. So, maybe a little bit of guilt there that's lingering in order to deal, right, with all of this. Okay, wow. So yeah, completion is something here, a cycle, person that we had in our lives is no longer putting up with garbage, this kind of thing. And that is universally driven. We're, even though it kind of blew in a manner that was overexploded, I feel like the ultimate thing here was to, create distance from this person because they're just not good for us. They're either taking too much or whatnot. The scenario was that boundary, it's clearly seen. And again, it may have been infiltrated before, but we had too much patience with this scenario, is the sense they're giving me. So the animal card, divine animal card for you, Leo. Look at the lioness come out again, man. I shuffle. I do. I swear. Well, if I were to place the card, I wouldn't place the same card 5 times. Like, this guy's going through the readings like you wouldn't believe. There's a lot of people here in protective energies. And even though you have scenarios that are low vibing, you can be in a protective zone of this. It's like your gut, your spirituality. You did the right thing here, but it's sad that it had to come down this way is the sense I'm getting. But we're not going to put up with this. It's the last straw kind of thing is what I get here. So know that you're protected through this decision and also in the future, because you're making your, again, I say that it can be taken in an egoistic kind of way. You're making yourself a priority. But really what I mean here is that we have to stay at full capacity and go outward lovingly as we choose. And if someone takes from us too much that we can't do that, there has to be a barrier laid there. And that's that. And that's what we did. And again, we let it go too far down the road. And this is why the explosion was so big. But nonetheless, we got rid of what we needed to here. We overcame. They said we would prefer if you use the word overcome. It's like we overcame this. So this is what's going on. Okay. So 2 and 1 is 3. And again, highly guided. And that Ankh, to me, means the afterlife. And I feel like, this may have been a karmic scenario that we needed to balance out energies with. And that's why a lot of times you look at people and you go, why do they put up with that? But they put up with it because there's past life energy that you need to pay off for someone. And then when you're equal, then you feel the need to release from it, and you do. Some people don't. They'll stay in, and they'll continue to take abuse or whatever. But in this scenario, I do feel it is karmic, and I feel it's a past life retribution here that had to happen. And again, we were balanced out a while back, but there's a lot of guilt feelings here, and it may even be family that we're dealing with. I think it's something we're going to think about, put it on the shelf, and then, kind of move forward in our power, because we really do realize from the, deeper guts instinct that we did do the right thing, even though we feel bad on the surface. Okay. So know that you're protected because you did the right thing here, even though it didn't come out in the most graceful way, because of it hanging on too long. That's just the way things happen sometimes. But ultimately, in the bigger scheme of things, this is the way things need to go. Okay, had a hard time spitting that out. The Zodiac card that we have for you, Leo. Another red, fiery energy. The Eclipse in Aries, 25 collaboration and boost relationship through teamwork and compromise. And yes, this is an area where we were trying to collaborate with someone and it just didn't work out, and it really wasn't meant to. I feel like there are boundaries here that were crossed, and we were maintaining them, which we should, and this is just the way it's meant to go down this road. So Aries is quite a warrior energy. Again, I feel a great strength of war here. So it was a huge interruption in the field. It wasn't just, I don't like you, stay out of my face kind of thing. It was a big, I wouldn't say an all-out brawl, but I would say that it's very confrontational, very loud, and very opinionated, and, like, you will not do this to me again. And again, coming from a well of emotions in this way that we finally laid it out. So the Eclipse in Aries, talking about collaborate. 5, 6, 7 is the number. And 7 to me is always a congratulations. There's an accomplishment here. When I see that, or it gets shot to me in my field of intuition, like, look at that number, it kind of pops out at you, or you look at it longer and you're going, why am I looking at that? That's the universe trying to speak to you and tell you things. And they're telling me, listen to the radio when you're, listen to the lyrics in the radio when you're driving. A lot of people overlook this. You are one of them. We'll sing and we'll da-da-da, but we won't hear the words. How does that relate to what just happened? Because I feel like they're trying to talk to you through music, and we're kind of mindless about it, not taking it in. So the universe wants to tell you exactly how they feel about this situation. So be aware of that in the future, because they will bring it out to you. And I feel like it has to do with releasing guilt, because we're not meant to take on guilt for this at all. This is justified, and we go forward in our dignity, right? Boom. There it is. Okay, Leo, that is your reading, your spirituality reading for the month of March and April of 2024. So take care, have fun, and be kind, and we will talk to you next month.